Hey there, it's been like 6 weeks. Stick around to the end of this video to get a recap of bringing your plants back to life for spring. Since we've done a Confessions of a Begonia Addict, Tales of Obsession. And today we're not actually going to introduce to you any begonias that are in my collection. Instead, I am taking this opportunity. It's the middle of February. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, growing zone 8B. We just got done with a week of frigid temperatures. We even got a few inches of snow, but it is middle of February. And what do I do in the middle of February? I get all of my begonias, either those that I have wintered over bare root or bare tuber, or those that I have left in their pots and moved to the garage. And the middle of February is the time that I do some checking, and we'll get to that. We'll go into the garage. I'll show you what it looks like. It's pretty gnarly. Everything's all desolate and nasty looking. However, those tuberous begonias, those great big gorgeous ones that I bring back year after year, I think I'm on year number 6 for many of them. A few are a little bit newer. But February, couple great things you should be doing in February. One, depending on your neck of the woods, it's time to see what's viable, what has grown, or what will grow, what has turned to mush and rotted away. And then I like to get them into the greenhouse so they can warm up. If you don't have a greenhouse, now would be the time to bring them from that cool area into a spare room, kitchen, I don't care. You do you, but bring them somewhere warm so that they can start to wake up. This gives me an opportunity over the next, say, 2 to 4 weeks to see what's going to grow before I run to my local big box store, garden center, nursery, and start loading my cart full of amazing tuberous begonias. Because in the Pacific Northwest, now is the time that every single outlet, whether it be Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Watson's Garden, McLondon's, they're all filling up with their summer bulb plants, including begonias. And I don't want to add to my collection if I don't need to, because the patio space is limited. Now you do you, of course, but middle of February is a great time to make those purchases. If you don't have any, get them potted up, get them somewhere warm, not outside, not until you're past your last frost date. But they don't need sun or light to wake up. They're under the soil. So get them potted up, or in my case, get them out of the cold garage, get them into a nice warm environment so they can start to grow. Check on them, maybe give them a little water so it's not super dry. But when we check on them, if that tuber is still firm, it's got the juice in it that it needs to wake up. So we're going to put that in the greenhouse. We're going to stick them in corners. I've gone through, I'll show you what I've done to the greenhouse. I've got a lot more floor space here going on. And before we get into the garage, we'll take a check at my prop corner so you can see what's growing. I've got some exciting things there. Oh, but you know what? One begonia we'll share. Check out this little guy. We're going to call him Canary Wings. Oh, look, he even flowered. This I got from, there were cuttings of these that were brought into our propagation group with the Pierce County Master Gardener. I just feel like there's something more that should go there with our WSU Extension Pierce County Master Gardener Program, the prop group. These were brought in, but then under further inspection, It was determined that these were still under, not warranty, copyright, I guess. So we could not propagate these to sell at our plant sale. However, there was no issue with taking them home so they didn't die. And so this will add to my yard, or a pot, but it is rooted. It even flowered. It's going to be pretty, and I can't wait to get that in the yard. So this is a Canary Wings begonia. We're just going to call it the generic Canary Wings begonia. And look at this thing here. This is my Jean Daniels. This thing, it is so close to blooming. There's buds here, and it's just taking forever. Oh my gosh. I need that thing to bloom. And then for those of you wondering about all those plants that I had that I'm like, oh, they got powdery mildew, they're all gonna die. Well, I put them in the house, I segregated them, I treated them with copper fungicide. And I see life on many of them. I still have a couple plants that I left in the greenhouse that are still showing some powdery mildew, and even the ones in the house are showing still some signs of powdery mildew. So today I got some sulfur powder, and later I will go through and treat them with sulfur powder. In some of my research, and my research was checking out, different groups like the Begonias and Begonia lovers or something like that. But more importantly, the Facebook site for the Pacific Northwest chapter of the American Begonia Society. I'm not the only one that had powdery mildew. Other people did too. And a lot of great knowledgeable people shared what has worked well for them. There's evidence behind it to support using that sulfur powder. So I will be doing that in hopes that later this spring I can show you my recovery table full of gorgeous green foliage and wonderful begonias, so that we can continue sharing some of my begonias. Anyhow, I've rambled on for now like 7 minutes. But so first things first, I'm gonna show you what's going on in the little prop area. Got a couple different things going there. Some things that have died, some things that are doing well, some things I'm excited about. And then we're gonna go to the garage so you can see what's going on there. And then I'll do all the work while you guys grab a coffee. And then I'll show you how the greenhouse is set up. So, all right, let's get to it. Why didn't it stop? All right, so a quick little tour of the greenhouse. So you can see that I have relocated all of my succulent type items over here. I have a Thanksgiving cactus there. Oh no, that's not Thanksgiving cactus. What is that? Oh, that's one of my orchid cactus. Is that what I call it? I don't know. It cut off, so I stuck it in soil. Put some things up here. You can see a lot of the plants now have moved out of here into the house. But oh, check out, I got another bird of paradise blooming. And we've got some more buds on there. I'm hoping here in a couple months these will bloom. My beefsteak begonias are doing amazing, but we're all about getting to the prop corner. Check out my luxurians. This will become a forest. These things are just really starting to pick up and grow nicely. So in here, I have a ton of Thurstonii. They're all still doing nice. I've got a couple Tradescantia in here as well as some little cuttings of some other random things. And in this one, this is kind of a, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen sort of box. This was just a random cutting from an orchid. These are some leaf cuttings that aren't doing nothing yet. Oh, but look at those leaf cuttings. Those leaf cuttings are doing something. And then that is an immense that has not done nothing yet. So, but it's still green. So it will stay there. Oh, check out my seeds. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna pause so you can see the seed. Alrighty, so here are some begonia seeds that I started, and we've got some green going on. This is some sort of unknown, and over here, some of this is mold or moss, but some of it is actually plant material. So I did find that in talking with a local expert, and I'm gonna call Maggie my local expert, that my choice of using, the substrate I used was, what's that stuff called? Stratum. May not have been the right choice. So I'll try again. In here, I have moved some things that weren't doing so well. I don't know what this is. Never did know what it is. That's a 485. One's already melted away, but I've got two in here growing. And then I've got some, oh, what is that, Libercii, that I'm hoping by giving a little extra humidity will do something. And then in here, this is my mostly non-begonias. However, here, wait, just one moment. Oh, I got the lid off of that. Look at this beefsteak. This was just from a rhizome. I cut a portion of the rhizome and put in here. And what else do I have in here? Oh, I have a eyelash begonia, a portion of the eyelash begonia rhizome. That's doing nicely. And my monos. I finally have a cutting growing of monos. Because you know what? That bad boy was just absolute crap. Oh, and here, that is a cutting from Smooch. Begonia Smooch. It was starting to grow out of its little container. And then, check it out. I have a plantlet from a leaf cutting that's like real. That's not like, is it gonna go? No, that really is. Now, is that a listata or with lacucci? I don't know. Half of them were listata, half of them were with lacucci. So, we're gonna just let that keep growing. As long as it's happy, and then I'll add that. I'm kind of hoping that it's a with lacucci, because my with lacucci isn't doing so well. It did not fare well with the powdery mildew incident of 2024. However, my listata is doing absolutely amazing and is now sitting in the house on a shelf, just, living its best life. I don't recall the name of this guy. It's finally showing some new life. Yes, don't comment. It's dry. It will get watered today. I don't remember what this is, and I'm not going to look, but look, that's growing. And then my Brevimosa is slowly dying away as well, and the cuttings I took did not work out. So I will continue to keep trying. Anyhow, that's it for the greenhouse. Now, come with me into the garage and let me show you what I got going on there. All right, well, the lighting isn't the greatest here because, well, it's my garage and it's an old house, so it's not really lit well. However, you can kind of see things. And here, come here, let's see. You can see, so I've got pelargoniums, I've got angel trumpets. Over here on the shelves, this is where most of my begonia collection is, as well as up here in the basket. So this is what we're working with today. So the first thing, let's check out. There was, oh, sorry, that's not begonia. That is a bare root pelargonium, bareroot pelargonium, or some of you folks may call those geraniums. And I think, I don't know, I'll put that in some soil and see what happens, but I may have not watered that enough this winter. However, I do have, I'll be back. In this box, I have some tubers that were provided to me of begonia. So let's check that out. So what I'm looking for is, well, one, I don't want them crunchy. I want them firm and not slimy. This is firm and not slimy. Oh my gosh, look at this big one. Also firm, not slimy. So excited. Free. This is free to me. Free is good. Look, another one. Okay, so these were provided to me, and then I just put them in some peat moss and kept them in the garage. The peat moss was lightly dampened. Wonderful. Oh, oh, this is great. Absolutely great. Okay, let's check one of the other things so you can see what I'm going to do with all the other pots. So I've got like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 begonia pots, half a dozen pelargoniums that I'm going to deal with, but you guys are here for begonias, so let's not worry about the pelargoniums, okay? Hang on a sec, let me get a pot. Okay, so I thought I'd start with an obvious. Look, it's got green, so that's kind of obvious. The soil is really dry, and that's fine. You know, little damp, but then I'm sticking my you know what? I'm sticking my fingers in there. I even brought gloves. Oh well, my fingers are dirty now. So, but I'm reaching down there and I'm feeling the rhizome, tuber. I'm feeling the tuber, and it's firm in there. There's nothing mushy, nothing soft. So this one's going to be very exciting. I will just move this into the greenhouse, give it a little moisture after it warms up. So I'm just going to let it sit in there for like a day or two, and then I'm going to give it some moisture. So let's get on to a different one, okay? This was obvious. Okay, this is a hanging basket. Let's see here, what can we do? Oh. Let's see, boy, I don't know what the best route is on this. But I can tell you, oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Breaking up the soil. Yeah, bear with me. We'll get there. Okay. I think, yeah. I think I found a good spot for it. You know what? And I also found a hole. A hole where perfect opportunity to put one of those bulbs in. Yeah, so I'm just feeling down until I can feel the tuber, and then going from there. Yep. Okay, very exciting. Here, oh, another obvious one. So we've got growth here, and I like this. This is pleasing to me because the tubers that I was provided are all of this same variety of begonia. It's the Begonias, that long, skinny, trailing, gorgeous one. So now that I know where the two are, because they're still there, I can break up the soil and I can bury another one, and then I can thicken that up. So that'll be a great opportunity. Here, let's check one more. And we're just getting all the dead plant material off. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's been enough moisture. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, let's see. Can you, if you, okay. I'm hoping in editing I can zoom in on that thing right there. That is begonia leaf starting to grow. That's very exciting. Okay, so very happy about that one. And I will, once they start growing, so I'm not gonna fertilize or nothing to begin with, but once it starts to grow, then I'm gonna give it a good dose of fertilizer, probably sprinkle some worm castings on top. Oh, nice and firm. We are so excited. We are really excited. Okay, as the snot drips off my nose. All right, I'm not gonna make you sit down and go through the rest with me. And I'm so happy that I have not stuck my finger into a slimy little mushy mess or just nothing but soil. I found all the tubers. So I'm gonna work with this. I'll get that back to the greenhouse, and then I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks. So stick with us, but go grab that coffee, but pause because you're not gonna have the time that I have. So you'll figure it out. That's what you do. All right, see you in the greenhouse. Hey, I did it. It's all in the greenhouse. I've got begonias galore, and you'll all be happy to know that every single begonia pot had a firm tuber in it. I found no mush. I had one pot I was a little about because it was really damp, but there was just a tiniest bit of growth, and the tuber is firm. So that's a great thing. And then I brought in my pelargoniums. You may know them as geraniums, as well as a few fuchsias that are not hardy. So we'll see how those go. I left the angel trumpets because those suckers are huge. Anyhow, yeah, let's take a look and see what the greenhouse looks like. So here we go. We've got some geraniums. These are all the bare, dead dirt, soil things. Those are all just the begonias. We got some fuchsias over in the corner. I will get this box potted up soon. These are my tubers that were gifted to me, my begonia tubers. And then I have some more over here. So, okay. So I want to recap a few things. This is we'll just say it was very long-winded. Who'd have thought one of my videos would have been long-winded? Anyhow, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Tacoma, Washington. Puyallup adjacent. I'm in growing zone 8B. In the last few years, about Mother's Day is when temperatures are right. We've hit our last frost date to be able to fill the patio full of plants. Middle of February, March, April, May. 3 months before my goal to deck out my patio, I get my geraniums, my begonias, and my fuchsias into somewhere warm. I have a greenhouse that is kept above 50 degrees. So I use my greenhouse. If you don't have a greenhouse, move them somewhere inside. Now keep in mind, for the most part, all of these plants will take 2 to 4 weeks to wake up. And then you'll see sprouts. At that point, they're going to start needing some regular watering. Now let me back up, because why make it easy? When I bring them somewhere warm, I'm going to leave them in alone. I'm not watering, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just cleaning all the dead plant material off. Anything mushy, like the mushy stems on a geranium, those kind of things I'm cutting away. But I'm giving it a couple days, just a couple days, to come up to temperature, the soil, because I've been storing mine in the garage. Now, if you've just had it in a dark closet somewhere that's, 40-ish degrees, maybe not that big of a deal. But let it come up to temperature and then give it a water. When I water, I will use the spray feature on my hose so it pummels the soil surface, because I guarantee you most of your pots, if they've been allowed to get dry, you know, maybe you didn't check on them every single time you should have. I seldomly do, but if it got really dry, it's most likely they're all hydrophobic. And a couple different ways is just, you know, give it a good spray of water. They don't need a lot of water, so if most of that water just runs through, that's fine. Just check on them, you know, once a week, every few days, and give it another spray of water. Be cautious. Some of you might be, oh, well, I'll just stick chopsticks in there, aerate the soil. That's going to be a great thing. Careful with your tuberous items, because you don't want to be jamming holes into your tubers. Anyhow, well, let's fast forward. So 2 to 4 weeks before you start seeing life. Keep it damp, not moist, definitely not wet. Once you start seeing life, then it needs light. So if you've moved it to a spare room in your house, at that point I'd get some grow lights on there, or put it in a south-facing window so they start getting some lights. Otherwise they're going to get all leggy. And as they're growing, if your winter is going longer than anticipated, or maybe it's just growing just super amazing and you start getting a lot of growth, well, hey, perfect opportunity to take some cuttings off those pelargoniums, take some cuttings off those begonias, and get some new ones started and give away. Then, as soon as you get to that point where, for like geraniums, as long as you're not going to have any more hard frost, a light frost, they're going to be fine. Or even if it's only, you know, if the lows are just only in the lower 40s, at that point, you know, with still the chance of a light frost, many of these plants, if they're going to be under cover where they're not going to get frost right on them, should be able to do fine as long as daytime temperatures are still good. Also, once you get a good, I'd say 2 to 3 inches of really great growth. Now, some of my geraniums, I didn't water these all winter, and they've got green life on them. So this next thing I'm going to say, this doesn't count. Once you have really good growing growth, it's got new growth coming out, that's when use a light fertilizer. And then from there, use whatever routine that you typically use to fertilize. You know, bottom watering, set it in a soak of water, whatever you got to do to get that going. And then I would recommend getting some worm castings on there, perhaps some. Now's a good time where you can see the soil, not now, but at the point where you got growth, to put like a slow release fertilizer on the soil, so as you start watering, it will start bringing it in. But no fertilizing until they wake up and they actually start growing. When they do start growing, give them light. This is great for geraniums, begonias, fuchsias. I have some green thing in a pot, I don't know what it is. Coleus, if you overwintered it. I've never overwintered that, so let's forget about that. So I hope I've made this as impossible to understand and follow through. I would recommend watching it many times. Yes, I don't know. So check back here in let's say a month. Middle of March, I will do another video, or sooner if the plants cooperate, but with sun should be heating up, things should start growing. It should be a very exciting time in the greenhouse. I cannot wait for spring to be here so I can get it all on the patio. Thanks so much. Happy gardening.